presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
I mean, they've outplayed us. The way they were today. There's some guys sick, some guys nicked up. They end up putting Jimenez in left field. It's how many times you heard me say it's one of those days where you feel like everybody pulls together, but they did it against us. And we're gonna. We got to come out tomorrow and get after it.
And they kind of done to us what we did to them at their place. I don't know how or why. I mean, it's obviously easier to be more upbeat and have more energy when you're hitting the ball well and things are going your way. But you got to keep fighting through it and fighting through the frustration when stuff's not going your way.
Well, it's no day at the beach when you've got to face Ervin Santana, especially with the prospects of a sweep looming over your head. And that's what the Indians are going to stare down today here at Progressive Field as they take on the Minnesota Twins, just a half game ahead of the hard-charging Minnesota club, a team the Indians swept in a 4-game series just 1 week ago. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. It has been a completely different story this time around for the simple fact that Minnesota has come out and they have taken it to the Indians and they've done it early.
Well, you knew that was going to happen, but Minnesota was not going to put up with what happened last weekend. But the game and the tempo was dictated on the very first pitch of the game. The throw was offline, but it wasn't a bad throw. Santana came off the base. And then you give up a base hit on a breaking ball to Grossman down and in. The first run scores. Gomes throws the ball into left field trying to pick off Mauer at third base. 2 errors, 2 unearned runs, and you know what? It's a lot when you're talking about after 2 innings. We thought that the Indians were a 6-inning team. Well, at home this year, when they lead after 2 innings, they're 9-1. When trailing after 2, 1-12, hard to believe, but it's key to get that lead early here for the Tribe.
Ervin Santana has made 4 starts in the month of June. In 3 of those starts, he's given up 18 runs. In the other one, he threw a complete game shutout, and it was on the road, and that's the key here today.
Well, this is Minnesota's best pitcher. He's having one of the better seasons in the American League. Very good command with his fastball. He has a nice slider, and you can see his numbers. He's got 2 shutouts, 5-1, and a 1.71 ERA on the road this season. And Minnesota is going to be licking their chops when they have him on the mound because the Indians didn't face him last week during that sweep.
Josh Tomlin will go for the Tribe in the hopes of avoiding being swept by Minnesota here today. We'll be back with the first pitch. We'll hear from Alan Jensen. We'll check in with Andre. It's all straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball.
On the hill today for the Tribe. He'll be taking on Urban Santana, Indians and Twins, as Minnesota tries to win this game, sweep the series, and with the win, they would move into first place. Tribe, of course, trying to stop that. Along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski here in center field. It is time now for our big story, and that's the Detroit Tigers bullpen that has really hurt them this year. They allowed 5 runs last night. They have an 8.72 ERA during their current 8-game losing streak, Jensen. Tigers now 10 games below 500.
Yeah, 5 of those 8 losses they've pinned on the bullpen. It has not been the strong suit for Detroit, and now it's put them in a situation where they are all but sure to be sellers for sure at the trade deadline. You think of Justin Verlander, you think of JD Martinez, maybe Ian Kinsler. I don't see Miggy Cabrera going anywhere, but I'll tell you what I do see going somewhere.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it all plays out as we move on today. Let's head upstairs. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning have the call. And oh, there's a sign you have. The real Souvenir City. We saw this on Indians Live. Matty, what do you think about Jensen's artwork here?
I like the artwork. I think the location may be a tad off.
Oh.
That's a long way out there.
They hit it here. We're going to be running for cover, I'll tell you that.
All right, thanks, guys. Indians trying to avoid the sweep here this afternoon and get to that 40-win mark and keep their lead over Minnesota in the American League Central Division. With more on today's matchup and maybe some of the fallout, the repercussions from the statements made by former Indian Chris Jimenez, here is Andre Knott.
Well, there's been a lot of baseball between the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Indians over the last week. With a doubleheader back in Minnesota last week, this is the 7th game in basically a week. And for Chris Jimenez, he wants all the talk about bullying and punching in the mouth to go away. But he wanted to explain to me and Cleveland and everyone else what he was trying to accomplish. And guys, I got to tell you, when you hear what he was trying to accomplish and you see how the Twins have played this weekend, it's starting to make a lot of sense. Here's Chris Jimenez in today's Hear Right Sounds of the Game.
The comment was meant for our clubhouse to really try to get that monkey off our back. You know what I mean? We did the same thing here last year with Detroit. Detroit had wiped the floor with us for the last few years. You know, we had kind of really turned the corner and punched back. I mean, not you know, they were the bully on the block, Detroit was. You know what I mean? And we kind of finally stood up to that and just essentially was like, listen, man, we're not going to allow you guys to come in here and just the mystique and the aura of, oh, we're playing Detroit again. And that's kind of the vibe that I wanted to get going in this clubhouse. I mean, we got some talent in there, and you know, we also have some better baseball ahead of us as well. And I just want these guys to let them know, like, listen, man, I was a part of this, what happened last year, and this is exactly what we did to get where we needed to go. And just to kind of bring that whole mystique, that same thought process over here.
And I think anybody who knows Chris Jimenez knows there was nothing truly pugnacious about his comments. He was just trying to get his guys fired up. It backfired last weekend in Minnesota, but they have come out and played very well here in the series so far. And that's no surprise, given that they are now 22-9 on the road this year. And the Indians, like Minnesota, have trouble winning here at home. Josh Tomlin will take the ball for the Tribe today and try and help them avoid the sweep. Here's the lineup that he will face. For Paul Molitor, it's brought to you by Hankook Tires. And Brian Dozier will be the leadoff man, followed by Joe Mauer. Miguel Sano back in the lineup after the flu kept him out of the first 2 games. Max Kepler will hit cleanup. Eduardo Escobar is 5th, then Eddie Rosario. Jorge Polanco, Jason Castro, and Byron Buxton batting 9th.
And Josh Tomlin is our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for this afternoon's ball game. Josh making his 15th start. He did not factor into the decision after allowing 5 runs on 8 hits over 4 2/3 back in Baltimore. He didn't walk anybody as usual and had 5 strikeouts, but did give up 3 home runs, and a pair of those were to Manny Machado. On the year, he's 1-1 against Minnesota. He won his first start against them in Minnesota, and his last start against him, he was matched up with Urban Santana, and it turned out to be a 1-0 ball game, and he ended up taking the loss. So we'll see. This is the rubber match for him now. Let's look at the defense, brought to you by Ram, that is behind Tomlin today. Jackson in left, Zimmer in center, Chisenhall in right. It'll be Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Santana at first, with Gomes doing the catching.
Chad Fairchild has to plate. David Rackley at first. Alfonso Marquez is at second base. The crew chief, Larry Vanover, there he is at third base. 74 degrees at game time, but very windy. Winds blowing out of the west at 21 miles an hour, and we'll see how that affects the flight of the ball today when it's put in play. Brian Dozier has swung at the first pitch in each of the first 2 games. He takes here for a called strike.
Josh Tomlin on the season, 69% first pitch strikes.
That'll even the count at 1-1. Tomlin in his 12th year with the Indians organization. Missed outside. He was a 19th round pick out of Texas Tech back in 06. The White House Texas product, the longest tenured member on the ball club. There's a high fly ball. Left field. In comes Austin Jackson. And he'll make the catch one away. It's one of those days where outfielders are going to have to continually move their feet. Infielders the same on any kind of a pop-up. And you got the wind swirling about.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what it's doing to the baseball. Maybe it looks like a little tougher to carry to left field than it is right.
Andre, what do you have down there?
Well, I talked to Tito, and he admitted to me right before the game. He says the wind bothers him a little bit with Tomlin on the mound and all the lefties in the Twins lineup. Something he'll pay attention to early to see how the ballpark is playing with Tomlin on the mound.
Pitch inside to Joe Mauer for ball 1. Tomlin has allowed 14 home runs on the year. 3 in that last start in Baltimore. There's a fly ball the other way to left. Jackson makes the catch again. 2 away.
For the Twins, batting third will be the designated.
Jackson showing the wheels, going to his left once, now going to his right. Francisco Lindor giving him the high sign, appreciating the ground cover. Here's Miguel Sano. He hasn't played in the first 2 games, but he's still 4th in the American League with 52 runs batted in.
Yeah, a number of the Twins have been under the weather with the flu. Yesterday's lineup they changed twice before they had an official lineup.
Inside, just missing. And a count of ball and a strike. Big curveball bounced in. Miguel Sano leads all-star third baseman in voting. He's a good 500,000 votes ahead of Jose Ramirez of the Indians. And that's a shame given the month that Ramirez has had. The 2-1. A little high, 3 balls and a strike. And Tomlin with a rare walk may have been working around the heavy hitting Sano, who has 18 home runs on the year.
Yeah, with Josh Tomlin's command, you're right, because that's only his 7th walk on the year in his 76 innings of work.
Time called as Santana goes over to say something to Tomlin. He's not going to hold Sano, but he'll keep him close.
Right, play off his one shoulder right there. A step behind him. Because you know how Tomlin throws to first base. He doesn't want Santana off the bag and then Tomlin to throw over there.
Max Kepler fouled a ball off of his foot on Friday night, sat out yesterday's game. He's got that protective padding on top of that right foot. They did some testing yesterday to make sure everything was still sound. Obviously, he came through all that okay, and back in the lineup today.
Yeah, it went right off the top of his foot. He wants no part of another one of those.
Glanced off the bat, and Tomlin gets ahead 1-2. And that's nothing new. For Josh Tomlin, he has thrown 2 strikes on the first 3 pitches to a batter 70% of the time this year.
Well, you talk to most pitching coaches and they'll say that's the key to pitching, that get into that 1-2 count and expand the zones.
Just maybe a ball width off the plate.
Well, he teases you with it, and that is off the plate. Gomes trying to bring it back in.
Swung on and missed. Hayes struck him out. And the Twins are scoreless here in the first. They strand a man, and the Indians are coming to bat. Will occupy the leadoff spot for Terry Francona as we look at the rest of the starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive. Jason Kipnis batting second. Jose Ramirez with a .347 home batting average will hit third. Then it's Encarnacion, Santana, and Chisenhall, Jackson, Zimmer, and Gomes.
Irvin Santana, this afternoon's Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher. Santana having a fine year, 9-4 and a .297 earned run average. He's 5-1 on the road with a 1.7 ERA. Any number you look at him, he's been very good on the year. And in the Central so far this year, in his 6 starts, he's 5-0 with a 180. He doesn't give up many hits. The Indians are going to have to take advantage of him when they do get base runners.
His first pitch today is a fastball that misses high. 6 left-handed bats in the lineup for Cleveland. That'll even it up. And a foul back. Santana will use his slider just a little more than 35% of the time. The league average is around 22%, so he's well above that. And when he faces the right-handed hitters, which there are only 3 of them in the lineup, he's exclusively fastball slider. He will mix in an occasional changeup with the left-handed hitters. But among starting pitchers, according to Inside Edge, he uses his slider the 6th most among all starters.
Yeah, it seems like it goes straight down.
There's a ball hammered to deep right field. Kepler back on the track, makes the catch just shy of the wall, and that is out number 1. Boy, a line drive hit by Lindor just didn't have enough lift to get out of here.
Let's set the Twins defense, brought to you by WB Mason. It'll be Rosario in left, Buxton in center, Kepler over in right. Escobar and Polanco on the left side, Dozier and Mauer on the right side with Castro catching.
Paul Molitor has watched his team rebound from a series last weekend in which the Indians flattened Minnesota by winning 4 games. And they've come back here to win the first 2 in this series and close the gap to a half game.
Yeah, you remember how they finished out their Sunday, or excuse me, their Thursday. They had a 5-hour rain delay before they could get that game in against the White Sox, and they were blown out in that game coming in here. And then they rebounded, and they played a good series so far to this point.
Kipnis socks one to right field. Kepler won't catch that one. Plays it out of bounds. And the Indians have a 1-out base runner.
That might have been Santana's changeup right there. And Kip put a good swing on it. He left it upstairs. 83 miles an hour. That's like a batting practice fastball in that location, and he took advantage of it.
And Jose Ramirez will bat with a runner on first. And if you want to get to the root of the Indians' run-scoring problems here at home, at least in this series so far, look no further than the guys who set the table. Kipnis and Lindor coming into today just 2 for 16. And if you don't create some traffic in front of Ramirez, Encarnacion, Santana, it's just a lot tougher to get a rally going. Ramirez taking a strike. 1 for 5 with a home run. Last 28 games, Jose batting just a tick below 400, hitting .396. June has been a full bloom for Ramirez. Ervin Santana, since the start of last year, has thrown over to first base 182 times coming into today. That's the 4th most, behind Justin Verlander, Josh Tomlin, and Jared Eichhoff.
And we might see a few throws over there today then.
Low and away, 2-1. Here's the thing, though. You talk about Santana, who's thrown over 182 times. Verlander, the leader, twice as many throws over to first base, 364. Ramirez shoots one right field, coming in Kepler routine play, and there are 2 down. Storylines are courtesy of Wayside Furniture. For the Indians, it's all about trying to score first. Get some of the momentum on their side. And for Ervin Santana, he doesn't give up many hits, so when you get an opportunity, try and take advantage.
Yeah. Well, I like the first 3 hitters. They went up there and they had a pretty good approach. He's been up in the strike zone for this first inning. Yeah, he gives up less than 6 hits per ball game. Very stingy. He reached back on that first pitch and got up to 96. He was right about 91, 92 to start this game. See, you gave us that stat. Now I'm going to want to start counting how many times he throws over. Oh, we already got that.
Well, sometimes it's maybe not even a great move, but
no, just to throw over there, right? Guess it becomes a habit sometimes.
And the 0-2 out of play to the right. Edwin Encarnacion has had a very productive month of June, hitting .348. 2 for 5 in the series, and they've walked him 3 times. But Santana's gone right at him and smashed to third. Nice backhanded stop by Eduardo Escobar, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, a man left. We are scoreless after 1. Escobar to lead off for Minnesota. And Josh Tomlin misses inside for ball 1. Escobar, a little like Jose Ramirez of the Indians, has been red hot in the month of June. Has collected 25 hits in his last 16 games. Thus the .403 batting average here in the month of June. Smashes this one into center field, and Minnesota has their first hit. Leadoff man aboard.
See the nice short swing there by Escobar, lining it right back up the middle. Check it out. It looked like this pitch was elevated. It was up and out over the plate, a fastball, and he took advantage of it.
Eddie Rosario did not play yesterday, at least didn't start. He came in late as a defensive replacement, but he, like Miguel Sano, was under the weather with the flu yesterday. He lays it down. Ramirez can't come up with it, and the Twins have 2 on with nobody out.
Well, pretty good idea there by Rosario. He just laid it down and made sure he made Ramirez field it, and it's a do or die play. He came in with the bare hand and he just overruns it. See, he stayed in the batter's box very well. He's forcing Ramirez to barehand it. You see how that ball jumped up over his hand in that grass. Watch his hand come up, and it just couldn't do it. So it's an infield single, back to back. They have an inning started here. Ramirez a little upset with himself he didn't get that ball.
Now the bottom part of the order. Jorge Polanco, 2 for 7 in the series with a home run in the opener Friday night. Indians pinching, looking for another bunt. He lays it down foul.
Well, they know they've got their best on the mound. They're going to try and get on the board first against the Indians and turn over a lead to Santana. They would love to do that. So they're going to apply the pressure with the little guys, move them up, move them over early in the game. A lot of times you won't see that happen. And he may give him one shot. He could take it off and let him swing the bat here if he wanted to.
Big hole on the left side. He swings and pops it straight up. Kipnis, the second baseman, on the dirt.
Infield fly.
And makes the catch. That's out number 1.
Well, vote today, vote tomorrow, and vote Indians for your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star ballot. Go to Indians.com/vote and then catch all the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star game presented by MasterCard. It'll be July 11th live on Fox.
There's Jason Castro, the Minnesota catcher. 0 for his last 11 at the plate. One of the reasons, perhaps, Polanco ended up swinging away. Castro takes a strike. Minnesota is now 3 for 15 in the series with a runner in scoring position, so they haven't exactly been lighting it up. But what they have done is score when they need to. Yesterday, they scored late with a run on the 8th, a run on the 9th. They had a run that they added on the 7th inning of the series opener.
And they put a couple of runs on the board early. 4 in the second in game 1 and 2 yesterday. Unearned runs, although they were yesterday. They made that stand up.
Corey Kluber struck out 13.
Yeah, he was dominating.
But the run support was not there. Two 1 pitch. Hit to left. Jackson a long run back and can't get it. Around third, scoring is Escobar. Rosario right on his heels. He scores 2. And Jason Castro delivers an opposite field 2-run double to give Minnesota a 2-0 lead.
And he drove that ball to left center field. Jackson going back to the track, and it short hops the wall. Weren't sure how that ball was going to carry, but he hit that one hard, and you can see Jackson going back. He was playing in, just misses the baseball. And then it takes a high hop, and if you looked at Rosario, he was all the way around second. Watch where he is. He figures that's going to be a hit. He's past second base, and he's going to follow him. He thought Jackson might make the catch.
Well, if Jackson makes the catch, he's a dead duck.
You would think so.
But it didn't happen, and now Byron Buxton takes high, ball 1.
Castro with his 10th double, his 24th and 25th ribby, and Minnesota again early in the game, 2 more on the board.
Fouled off the mask of Gomes.
Josh, a pitcher, as we talk about, it's so important for him to throw that early strike and not pitch from behind in the count.
The Twins press notes pointed out that since shaving his beard, Byron Buxton is batting .235 with 2 walks. The scoreboard has picked up on that fact and promoting that fact as well. And I know that's 30 points higher than the season average, but not sure that's something you want to really tout. The 3-1 and another walk. Boy, Josh Tomlin has walked 2 already today. And that's not something that you see very often. Tomlin has walked 2 or less in 45 consecutive starts. That's an Indians franchise record. It's also the longest active streak in all of baseball. And it's tied for the 9th longest streak in history. Minnesota, they have the 3 longest streaks on record. Carlos Silva went 99 games straight. Phil Hughes, 64. Brad Radke, 62. And when they were under pitching coach Rick Anderson, he preached strike 1, strike 2, don't walk people.
Right. You get hit out of the ball game. You don't walk yourself out of a game. Certainly Tomlin does not. But he had 2 walks against the Dodgers. That's just 2 starts ago. So for him, it's a rarity. And even today, you look at his ball strike ratio, 18 balls and 14 strikes. For him, that's unheard of.
Brian Dozier flied to left in the first inning. And he's behind Dozier now, 2-0.
Comes back with a very good pitch at a 2-0 count. He knew he had to make it to a good fastball hitter, and you're down 2-0. You've got to put the out. That was a little cutter. Looked like it had some run to it to the outside.
Dozier took a hack, fouled it back. It's 2-2 with 2 on, 1 out here in the second, and Minnesota once again claiming the early lead. Twins are looking for their 5th sweep of the year, while the Indians are trying to avoid the sweep, and they've already lost 8 of their 12 series played here at home.
Hard to believe. Can't figure it out. I think everybody's thinking, what's wrong?
Chop foul.
Yeah, for Josh, he just missed his spot. It looked like Gomes was sitting inside on that pitch, and that ball ran away. And that's one guy that normally his control's impeccable. When you put a target up, he normally hits it.
Dozier with a ground ball to short. Lindor to Kipnis. There's 1 on to first. Inning-ending double play. But Minnesota strikes early. A 2-run double by Jason Castro, and the Indians are in the hole.
For kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. The seats are located in the family deck near the kids clubhouse and are only available at Indians.com.
Carlos Santana, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Austin Jackson due up for the Indians here in the second inning. And a first pitch fastball in there for strike one. Carlos Santana hitless in his last 6 at bats. Boy, that camera can't even stay still with the wind whipping about. This is down low, 1-1.
We've been seeing a lot more teams throwing Santana changeups in the last week or so.
He has not been able to make the adjustment, hitting a .198 in his last 24 games with only 8 runs batted in. 3-1. When Santana, Irvin Santana, is behind in the count, he usually goes to his fastball, and there it was. Bounced to first, knocked down by Mauer. Plenty of time to recover. One away. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, Matt, in the first inning, you talked a lot about Irvin Santana and his usage of the slider. After having a wonderful April and May, the month of June has been a little up and down for Irvin Santana, and he believes it's because of that slider. So his last few starts, he feels like it's been flat. He hasn't been able to get the same bite in it that he was getting in the first 2 months of the season, and it was a pitch he knew today that he had to have success versus the Indians. So something just to watch early. He's been playing with that slider, trying to get that bite back in it that he had early in the season.
Yeah, and that bite, where that usually, as I said, goes straight down. And the hitters, it just drops late in the zone.
And Lonnie Chisenhall looks at a strike. That might have been an attempt at a changeup right there.
It was.
It missed wide of the zone. Didn't have much downward action to it at all.
Yeah, I've seen 3 different speeds on his changeups, the last 3 changeups, an 83, 84, and an 86. So he's still trying to get a feel for that too.
Down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Plays. Chisenhall staying alive here. Lonnie in his last 24 games has hit 8 home runs and driven in 23. Lifts this one in the air. Dozier, the second baseman, fighting the sun. He's lost it.
Yes,
and Chisenhall safe at first.
You can see how tough it is. He has glasses on, and you could tell he was battling the sun. He was trying and waiting for that thing to come out. It had to be sitting right in the sun, and then all of a sudden at the last minute, you see, he couldn't stay with it. Usually you use that glove to shade your eyes against the sun, but that ball had to be directly into the sun.
Now, I could read his lips. He asked Mauer, "Did you see it?" And then he mouthed back, "I never saw it." So I don't know if Mauer would have had a chance to get over there and help him out. They talked it over, but the bottom line is it'll be ruled a hit, and Lonnie Chisenhall is aboard with 1 out. Austin Jackson picked up his 1,000th career hit yesterday. Takes low, ball 1. The hits have been coming fast and furious of late. Austin, in his last 8 games, has collected 11 hits, and he's driven in 8.
Yeah, he's been swinging it very well. You can tell he's seeing the ball. That was a good swing.
By the way, meteorologist Tom Boshenik tells me the wind is gusting up to 25 miles an hour here this afternoon.
He would know. He's sitting on the the back booth. He doesn't even feel it.
He's sitting on a flagpole somewhere. Lonnie takes off, and Austin lifts it foul, out of play.
See, Lonnie was, you can tell it was a straight steal because he never peeked in, and he even went in to slide into second base, and he didn't pick up the baseball. But I mean, you watch when you're stealing a base, even if it's a straight steal, there's times you got to look in there because you could hear it was hit. He didn't know what to do. You got to take a peek and look in to see what that guy does with the baseball.
Not running, and the ball's in the dirt. 2-2. Twins up 2-0 in the second. Little high, full count.
Well, if they tried to start him earlier in the count, you might as well. Oh, wait a minute. What did he do? They rang him up. He's walking back to the dugout. I didn't even see him call. Oh, it was a late call. So he did ring him up.
First strikeout for Irvin Santana, and there are 2 down here in the inning.
Look, they're confused too. They couldn't believe it. They thought it was a ball. I think everybody did. Only because of his reaction. I thought the pitch was a good pitch, but he didn't call it right away.
Well, Bradley Zimmer at the plate as you look at Chad Fairchild, who maybe he's from the Tim McClellan school of umpiring. Wait till everybody's gone home and then make the call. Zimmer in his last 31 games hitting .313.
You see, all right, after the call, now you're going to see the reaction from the manager. He can't believe it.
A little high, 1-1. Zimmer rips the slider into right field. Chisenhall will go to third. Kepler's throw tried to be cut off, and now Zimmer takes second base.
Heads up play.
Aggressive base running by Zimmer. He watched Polanco unable to cut it, and once it got by Polanco, he recognized nobody's standing at second base, so he just kept on going.
And that was a heads up move. Keep your eye on the baseball, and once it was off the glove, Dozier was out towards right field, so he wasn't at second base. Polanco's the cutoff man. Watch how that works. He's sliding out to right. Kipnis is going to go to third. In comes the throw from right. And then once the ball gets off the glove, plenty of time. Watch Zimmer, and now go. He had everything in front of him. Good job. Continued to go to second base.
I don't know how they charged an error to Kepler there.
Well, it was because the throw might have been off the mark, and I wanted to see. I didn't get a good look at that to see what Polanco did there.
He didn't stop it is what he did. He watched it go right by him. Swing and a miss by Gomes. Now again, maybe it was 6 feet wide of him. We didn't get a good angle.
That's what I wanted to look and see. I didn't see it, but there has to be an error charge for Zimmer to go to second.
Yan Gomes fouls it back.
Here you go. We'll get a look at the throw now. In comes Kepler, and let's see where Polanco's got to go.
He didn't even try to.
Well, it's a one hopper. That wasn't a good throw from right field. And if he lets it go, then Zimmer's going to go to second anyway once it skips by him.
Not a good effort by Polanco nonetheless. Second and third, 2 down, 0-2 pitch. And it's up high. Indians 0 for 15 with a runner in scoring position in the series. And it's a huge spot early. He didn't go, and it's 2-2, because here's what's at stake. If the Indians fail to score here to even the game, or perhaps take the lead, they've lost 12 of 13 at home when they trail after just 2 innings.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. We usually break it down and say it's a very good 6-inning game if the Indians get that lead after 6. But it's come to 2 innings at home. Hard to believe.
2-2. Foul back now. When the Indians have the lead after 2 innings at home, they've won 9 out of 10. Now, if you dig deeper into this, I'm sure there are other factors. Do they fall behind early, and maybe the offense isn't able to come back, and then the other team adds on a few, and they just kind of run away from them?
This is the team that had 11 walk-offs here last year in this place.
Foul back. Combs was down 0-2. He's fighting his way back.
Yeah, they're trying to throw that fastball, elevate it, and throw it by him upstairs. But he's been able to get a piece.
And he struck him out to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We've played 2. It's Minnesota 2, Cleveland nothing. Joe Mauer will lead it off. He's the subject of our stat of the game, brought to you by Buick. Only Miguel Cabrera more hits against the Indians among active players. Mauer has 3 hits in the series, and in his career he has done more than his fair share of damage with 47 doubles, 14 homers, and 78 runs batted in his 176 games against Cleveland. And just put another one on the board.
Yeah, rarely do you see him get aggressive on the first pitch and pull the ball, mind you. He normally stays on it and takes it the other way, but let's see the location here. He goes down and in, and he pulls it right in the hole. Fastball inside. So that goes between first and second. Fourth hit for the Minnesota. Second straight inning they've had their leadoff man aboard.
Mauer's collected a hit in 5 straight now. He's 7 out of his last 15. And he's aboard for Big Miguel Sano. Sano walked his first time up. And the count 1-1. A little low, 2 balls and a strike. This isn't exactly a must game for Cleveland. I know Terry Francona said after yesterday they better come ready to play today and get after the Twins early. They're down 2-0 here in the 3rd. But Josh Tomlin's one of those guys, being that he's the longest tenured member on the ball club, he's pitched in a lot of big games. Just back to last year, he was the winning pitcher in Game 3 at Fenway Park in the division series. He was the winner in Game 2 here in the ALCS against Toronto. He started Game 3 of the World Series at Wrigley Field, in which the Indians won. Now the 2-2. Chopped to third. Ramirez had to wait back on the big hop. Goes to second. There's one on the first. The call is safe. And Tito will ask Mike Barnett to take a second look. It was close.
A lot closer than I thought it was going to be, because that ball was not hit that hard. You see where Ramirez had to sort of back up and wait for that hop. And by the time he gets it to Kipnis, good throw, and the throw coming back. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but he looks safe.
So 1 on, 1 out for Max Kepler, who struck out his only time up, the only strikeout so far today for Tomlin. Tomlin got him with a breaking ball. Fouled right back. Carlos Santana not holding Miguel Sano at first, but trying to keep him from just taking off. So he'll stay near the bag and then back up once Tomlin goes into the delivery. Just outside. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He got him again. Tomlin went down and in with that breaking ball. And twice today, he has been able to strike out Max Kepler.
He expands his zone here. That ball drops out. Good pitch. Too close to take. And he throws a good curveball here. So out number 2.
And up comes Eduardo Escobar, who singled in the 2nd inning. hit pretty well to center, but there is Zimmer covering so much ground, makes an easy catch to end the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. Middle of the third. Twins 2, Cleveland nothing. Cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom of the third, and Francisco Lindor will lead off for Cleveland. Line one to right that was caught in the first inning. Ervin Santana has allowed 3 hits in the first 2 innings. And in his previous 2 starts, he gave up 19 hits in 10 innings of work. And that's unusual because Santana, whether you want to look at this as a statistic of luck or skill, he has the #1 batting average on balls put in play, a .192. Trevor Bauer, on the other hand, who has complained about the bad luck that has gone against him, has the 7th highest average of .340 when batters put the ball in play. And the analysts argue that this is a stat that is largely based on maybe more on luck than it is skill. Granted, your average is consistently high. There may be a problem that is more mechanics based or skill based, but the overall average should be somewhere around 300, hovering between maybe 290 and 310. That would be where most pitchers are at. So Bauer, hey, he's trying to figure out why in the world is it every time somebody swings, it's either going for a hit, going for a home run. Whereas Santana, on the other hand, he's not giving up hardly anything. Although the last 2 starts, he would argue that maybe the luck has gone against him.
Well, in his last start, he gave up a season-high 10 hits against the White Sox and 6 runs. But the offense came to save him that ball game. He only went 5 innings and allowed the 6.
I mean, pitchers constantly are taught, and it becomes part of their mantra. Once the ball leaves your hand, the rest is out of your control. Guy could go down and hit a really good pitch and flare it over somebody's head. He could break his bat. It could fall in. Numerous things can happen that you have no control over. In the air to left. And the shortstop Polanco makes the catch.
I think when you take the sting out of a hitter's bat, if you're a pitcher, regardless of where the pitch is or whatever, like that pitch right there, Kipnis didn't get a good wood on the ball and an infield fly for the most part. And then when guys hit it hard, it falls in. There's a difference. I mean, when you're giving up line drives as opposed to balls off the end of the bat or base hits, I think you can live with that a lot more.
Two down for Jose Ramirez, who flied to right his only time up. And He lines one into left field for a base hit. So all 4 hits have been singles for Cleveland.
Yeah, and that's a tough one to get rolling. 2 outs, nobody on, but he puts a nice stroke here. Stayed on the baseball, hit a line drive into left field. So you keep the inning moving, you move it along, and give Encarnacion a chance.
Edwin grounded to third his first time up.
It was a nice play too by Escobar.
Up and away, and it's 2-0. Up and in, 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, this is pretty much how Minnesota has attacked Encarnacion in the last 2 weekends. They're going to try and make it. They're not going to give him a whole lot. They show him that fastball. He's sitting in a good hitter's count, and I'll bet Eddie will be sitting on a fastball here 3-0. If he likes it, he can get after it. Ooh, he got one. Taken all the way.
These fellow countrymen, both from the Dominican Republic, squaring off here with 2 on, 1 out. Lob toss over, chases Ramirez back.
Yeah, and it seems like most of the time, now that you mentioned Santana throws the first, he lobs it over there. He doesn't really go over there with a good move.
Runner goes, and a 3-1 pitch is taken for a strike, and Ramirez steals the bag. That'll be his 8th stolen base on the year.
Well, and he picked the right pitch to take off on. It's a breaking ball on the 2-2 count, or excuse me. And you see, he took a peek back, looking in, realized that he swings through it, but he steals a base. He had a good jump.
But it's not rare you see a guy run 3-1 for the simple reason of, well, if it's a strike, you're going to end up running 3-2 anyway.
Exactly.
But he got a good jump. He stole it cleanly, and now the payoff pitch to Encarnacion. And he chased one and struck him out. 3rd K for Santana. And after 3, the Twins lead it 2-0. Rolling to the fourth inning, Eddie Rosario, Jorge Polanco, and Jason Castro due up.
Rosario, the guy that set up that second inning with a Escobar was on first. He led off the inning with a hit. He laid down a bunt. He had the first two guys on, and then Castro drove them both home with a double.
Hit pretty well. Deep right. Back is Lonnie, and it is gone. And Minnesota's lead is now 3-0 on Eddie Rosario's 10th home run of the year. It's the first home run he has hit outside of Target Field this season.
How about that? Rosario his 10th, and the 15th given up by Josh Tomlin. Told you he had given up 5 in his last 2 starts. That's right down and into the wheelhouse of a left-hander. So one swing puts another run on the board for Minnesota.
Not that this would come as any real shock, but all 10 of his home runs have also come against right-handed pitching this year. Jorge Polanco takes the ball downstairs. 1-1. Smashed into center field. Polanco with his 3rd hit in the series.
Well, he stayed back on this ball, and I mean hit it with authority. That ball is by Tomlin before he can get the glove up.
You know, we've talked before about how a lot of times there will be a pitcher on every team's staff that is the guy that goes out, pitches well, and can't get any run support. And you look at his numbers and, boy, he should have more wins or shouldn't have a losing record based on how well he's thrown. But the team maybe just doesn't score when he pitches. Well, this year it's a bad combination where Josh has had a number of poor outings, so he hasn't pitched well at times, and he doesn't get much run support. 5 times already this year they have scored no runs when he's been in the game. 8 times, so more than half of his starts 1 run or less. And so far it's only 3 innings, but they've been blanked in this game. And normally you wouldn't think that's even a big deal, but as we've talked about, for whatever reason, getting behind early has been problematic here at home for the Indians. Castro swings and misses. It's 0-2.
Yeah, well, 3 of the 4 wins that Josh has have come here in this ballpark. He's 3-5, although his ERA is lower on the road. Sometimes it's not how you pitch, it's when you pitch.
Castro down on strikes. Tomlin with his 3rd strikeout this afternoon, 1 away here in the 4th. Our great clip of the game from yesterday, speaking of lack of run support. Corey Kluber struck out 13 and was utterly dominant, but 2 unearned runs in the first were difficult to overcome. The Indians finally tied it in the 7th. But then the bullpen allowed solo home runs in the 8th and 9th innings. Runner goes. Smack to left. Jackson back. Makes the catch. And you can see that wind is even tricky in left field today.
It sort of knocked it down like it had some top spin, and he ended up having to pick that ball up off the ground. Ball was hit hard. Buxton hit it. It had some top spin. Watch, he has to put the brakes on, and that thing's going to carry on down. But he makes the play. 2 outs.
And with a runner at first, Brian Dozier, the batter. Dozier will begin the Twins' 3rd time through the order. Tomlin slings one over, but Polanco not far off the bag, able to get back. Foul tipped it, and the count is 1-2. Brian Dozier, though he is 0 for 2 today, has batted 34 points higher on the road this year than he has at home. No surprise given the Twins' fortunes home versus road. Upstairs, 2-2. But he and Mauer have been a formidable 1-2 punch in the first 2 games of this series. Those two have gone 7 hits in 14 at bats. So they've been setting the table, giving Minnesota opportunities. Low full count. Sunday afternoon crowd once again has been forced to have to sit back and watch the Twins have all the fun early. Runner goes, payout pitch, hit on the ground by Tomlin. Kipnis is there, and the inning is over. Twins add to their lead. Eddie Rosario goes deep. It's 3-0 Minnesota, middle of the 4th.
this season by purchasing a promo pass for an additional $5. You receive your item no matter what time you arrive at the ballpark. Just visit Indians.com for all the details. Speaking of that, I want to send along happy birthday to our good buddy Curtis Danberg today. Curtis here with the Indians, turning 43.
Is that all?
Yeah, he's trying to catch us.
Wow. I think he shaved
Curtis,
a couple
happy
off there.
birthday. I didn't see him today.
He's older than 43. I'm not buying that.
I didn't see him. I got to try and find him. We'll have to get him a cake.
Carlos Santana will lead off the bottom of the fourth. The Indians so far this series have scored 2 runs in 21 innings. And one of those runs came on a solo homer by Jose Ramirez. Popped up, back out of play.
The Indians seem to, when they play well, they seem to get a hit with a runner in scoring position early, and I don't care who does it in the lineup. As long as they get one early, it seems to get them rolling. And if they fall behind, it seems like everybody, they just try too hard. They try to hit homers, and they forget about playing station to station, move the baseball.
They don't have a hit in this series with a runner in scoring position.
I know.
Let alone have one early in the game.
Their second run that scored yesterday to tie the game was an unearned run that was given to them. In game one, they had plenty of opportunities and guys on base all game long, and they just couldn't cash in.
The 1-2.
You know, and we've talked about it numerous times, like when we were on the road and they were getting hits, and it seems like it's never going to end. But when it's not there, it's not fun to watch. When you're doing it, it seems like no big deal, but it comes and it goes.
Foul on the right side.
And you know, this is when you talk about Ervin Santana, he doesn't give up a lot of hits, so it's going to be tough to string 4 or 5 hits in an inning off this guy. That's why when you get guys on, you better take advantage of it.
Popped him up on the infield. The shortstop Polanco makes the catch. 1 away. T-Mobile unlimited baseball break. Carlos Gomez of the Rangers in 8 games since coming off the DL has batted .333 with 6 homers and 16 driven in. Texas will be here tomorrow to start a 4-game series. And the Rangers are a .500 ball club heading into play today. 37 and 37.
Well, they got off to such a bad start, and part of that had something to do with the Indians sweeping them in the first series of the year at home.
Chisenhall shoots one up the middle, and Lonnie has his second hit of the day.
Right back up the middle for Lonnie. He wants that ball away. It's elevated and hits it right near the feet of Santana. It gets into center field. So Lonnie 2 for 2. 5 hits for the Tribe.
Austin Jackson called out on strikes, his only time up. Out of play to the right.
Some more birthday wishes go out to Fern Allen of Menor, turning 81. Some congratulations to Gary and Becky Bentz of Uniontown, celebrating their 40th anniversary. A belated to Leona Kaufman of Mansfield is 96. And Bill Nalipa of Struthers celebrating a birthday today.
Out of play again. It's 0-2. Ervin Santana, of course, threw a no-hitter here at Progressive Field. It was 6 years ago. July 27, 2011. Off the glove to the backstop. Down to second goes Lonnie.
That's a fastball that got away. It'll be a wild pitch on Santana. That's his 5th of the year. That fastball takes up over the umpire's head. Castro lucky to get a glove on it. Tried to hump up there with 2 strikes on Jackson. We had a scoring change too back in that second inning, where that throw was from right field from Kepler. Take the error away. He went to second, advancing on the throw.
The 1-2. Bounced it in front of the plate. That time a nice block by Castro. Ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Dozier. Gets up. Doesn't have a play. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. So Chisenhall to third, and Austin Jackson with his first hit of the day. And the Indians now have collected 6 hits against Irvin Santana.
Well, Dozier did a nice job of getting to the ball, and he did the wise thing. Once he couldn't get it and he couldn't pick it up, he didn't get a grip, you don't throw it. You hold it right there. You keep the double play in order. And he does just that. So that'll give Zimmer a chance to get the Indians on the board. Jackson gets an infield hit. He might have had a chance to get him had he picked up that ball quickly to throw it. But when you don't get the grip.
Bradley Zimmer, a base hit. His first time up. He goes and wails away, comes up empty.
That's the good slider you're going to see.
Zimmer has been productive with a .385 average with runners in scoring position.
Not give him a lot of swinging room. There's the fastball. He's showing him inside, and if he wanted to go after that pitch, he's going to want it to jam him. But I bet he comes back. He's going to see that slider again, or attack him with those sliders, and maybe show him the fastballs if he can and take advantage of a young hitter.
Throw to first, and it drives Jackson back. Santana's 1-1, pulls it foul.
Came back with a slider, so the 2 sliders have been the strikes. He's got a pitch to work with. See how he tries to put him away. If you're Zimmer, you would like to hit a fly ball or elevate it, keep it off the ground.
Yeah, it's almost to the backstop, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, he did that to Austin Jackson, threw one to the backstop. It would have been nice there if he could have done that again.
Two, and it's in the dirt. Another good block by Castro. He's been Johnny on the spot back there when it comes to the ball in the dirt. The only one that got by him was a fastball that took off upstairs. So after all this, Zimmer has a full count.
We have action. Action pitch here, 3-2, first and third. Chance for the Indians to get on the board, get this crowd into it.
Popped him up, foul round, easy play, 2 down.
Came back with a good heater in on the hands and got the short pop up for the second out. Let's go. He put that fastball in on him that time. That would have been a pretty good pitch, a tough one to lay off with 2 strikes. 3-2, and you can see you can't get the barrel head of the bat out in front. He gets it down around the trademark and he just pops it up. So now the Indians going to be looking for a 2-out base hit off the bat of Yan Gomes.
You hear me? Santana sets. Here's the pitch. And Gomes fouls it right back to the screen. Yan Gomes in his last 40 games has driven in 18 runs. He has scored 15. But he struck out in a key spot in the second inning when the Indians had runners at second and third and 2 down. Now he bats first and third, 2 down here in the fourth. Chased it in the dirt. Runner at first goes down to second base. Austin Jackson.
That's good to get out of there, get to second base on that ball in the dirt, because Castro's first move after he gets to the ball is look at third base before he can make that throw to second. He gets Gomes to swing at it. It trickles away, not far enough, or where Chiz could do anything. But now base hit. You could get 2 in.
Buxton very shallow in center field. Rosario very shallow in left. Kepler normal depth in right field. And the pitch is in the dirt.
You can see how high Castro came up, knowing he's probably going to get that one in the dirt. He got Gomes to swing at that pitch in his first at bat. Again, now he may be trying to go the other route, throw one in the dirt and now elevate a fastball. There
he does, and he strikes him out to end the inning. 4 complete. 3-0 Minnesota. Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by Cleveland Clinic, Express Care online. Download it now for free. 3-0 Minnesota. And here in the 5th inning, Joe Mauer will lead it off. Daniel Robertson has taken over in left field for Austin Jackson. Jackson, who reached on a base hit, went to second on the wild pitch. I don't know if something happened to him, but we'll find out as soon as we hear. Or we'll let you know as soon as we hear. Joe Mauer leading off is 1 for 2. Pitch down and in, 1-0. Got the inside part of the dish, and the count evens at 1-1. Lines one to left, and that's a fair ball. Hit it to the corner. Mauer on his way to second, and he's in with a leadoff double.
Now the patented Joe Mauer swing, where he stays on the baseball, and we've seen that swing for a lot of years. Line drive takes it right down the line into the corner for a double. That'll be a 16th. And again, the Twins get their leadoff man aboard. The 4th straight inning this has happened with Minnesota.
Miguel Sano has walked and bounced into a fielder's choice. .41 out of 70 pitches for strikes from Tomlin today. And Sano with a one-hopper to Kipnis. Takes the out at first. Mauer goes to third.
Sort of muscled that ball that way, didn't he?
Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Brandon Geyer has played 5 games at AAA on the rehab assignment, has 4 hits. He's been hit by a pitch twice. No surprise there. Abraham Almonte.
That means he's ready.
7 games, has 8 hits, couple of home runs. So those guys obviously are getting closer to returning. And as we bring Andre Knott in, along with the Indians infield, Michael Brantley, is he scheduled on target to return tomorrow?
It may be the Tuesday, but all the workouts that he did, this should be caught by Jose Ramirez.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Yes, tomorrow he went through everything. Tito says he looked great. They want him to run the bases. He did not do that because of the weather over the last few days. So let's look for Tuesday for him to return. Most likely, he told me he feels really good. Geyer wasn't going to play today, but there was a lefty going in the AAA game, and because they want him to be great against lefties, they had him play another game. He's going to play down in Columbus, and we should know something tomorrow about him. Also, Danny Salazar will throw a simulated game in Akron. He is here with the team today. He was here yesterday. He'll go to Akron, throw a simulated game, and they'll make some decisions off that. I don't have anything on Austin Jackson, but I can tell you that the team has been paying close attention to that foot in between innings, and not just today, but I know in Baltimore they looked at it a couple times and retaped it. So I'll try to work on finding out what exactly is going on with him today.
Is that potentially related to the toe injury?
I think so, yeah. And I don't know if it was like a comfort thing, trying to get it. Sometimes you get a taped ankle or taped toe or something, and you're not comfortable with it. So I'll try to find out what the latest is with that. But I know they were dealing with it in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a bet you don't want to lose in that lineup right now.
Mauer's at third with 2 down, and Eduardo Escobar with an 0-1 count. It's a little high. Escobar singled and scored in the 2nd inning for Minnesota, and then flied to center his last time up.
Josh with an opportunity to get out of this inning here after the leadoff double. Got the big out in Kepler on a little short pop-up.
Lifted in the air to shallow left. Charging hard is Robertson. Out goes Lindor to make the catch. And that'll end the inning. So the leadoff double dies at third. We're halfway through. Indians down 3-0. Presented by Varmint Guard. Varmint Guard. It tees off at 8. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Francisco Lindor. Going to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Then Jason Kipnis and Jose Ramirez to follow. First ball swinging, lazy fly to left, and Rosario will make the catch. 1 down.
Well, Ervin Santana, a combination of fastballs and sliders. He has thrown some changeups earlier, but when he doesn't give in, he makes the pitch when he has to. And he's awfully tough to get hits, but the Indians have 6 hits. They just haven't been able to do anything once they get him aboard. And that's been the story of the weekend.
Santana once tossed 22 consecutive scoreless innings this year. That was from April 3rd through April the 20th.
Yeah, 2 guys. He was right out of the chute starting the year. He and Paxton, Big Paxton, the guy with Seattle. I think he had 23 before his was broken.
His streak is tied with Kyle Gibson's for the 5th longest in Twins history. Johan Santana owns the club record with 33 consecutive scoreless innings. That happened back in 2004. And the irony there is that when Ervin Santana originally signed with the Angels out of the Dominican Republic, that was his name, Johan Santana. But by 2003, he didn't want to be confused with the Johan Santana of the Twins, so he changed his name to Ervin. And when people asked about it, he said, I don't know, I just like the name. But it might go back to his days when he was in high school in the Dominican, and he was a really good basketball player, and they used to call him Magic. And most people know that it's Ervin Magic Johnson, so maybe Ervin Magic Santana, who knows? Jason Kipnis with a base hit in the first, popped up on the infield in the third. Pops this one back out of play. Now the line of the payoff pitch and a foul back. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out, and that's 5 Ks for Santana.
Well, that's his 5th strikeout. There's the slider. Comes back down right at the top part of that zone on the full count. Drops in there. Hasn't walked anybody yet. For Santana, 10-0-2, 1-2 counts on the afternoon.
Jose Ramirez looks at the ball down low. And a fair ball down the right field line. Jose Ramirez continues to swing a hot bat. And that throw nowhere near in time. So he's in the second with a double, his second hit of the day.
First extra base hit for the Indians, and Ramirez his 24th double on the year, gets it inside first base. Bauer going over there. That's a big guy. If he can't get there, he doesn't reach it. But again, with 2 outs, the Indians are going to try and get on the board. 7th hit.
Edwin Encarnacion is 0 for 2 on the day. You watch Urban Santana pitch, and nothing really jumps out at you and says, wow, that looks unhittable or filthy, but he just misses the barrel of the bat. He keeps the hitters from really squaring him up very often.
He's a pitcher, man. He knows what he's doing out there.
Gets away. Santana urging Castro to turn around to find it, but not before Ramirez goes to third. See how it's ruled. I would imagine it's a wild pitch. It just kind of dribbled through the 5-hole.
Take a peek. It's going to be, yeah, in the dirt, and it stays down. Went off the end of the glove, and it did. It just got through his legs, rolls back. It'll be a wild pitch, his second.
Hits even at 7 apiece, but the Indians unable to crack the scoreboard to this point. Boy, that fastball ate him up. 6 Ks for Santana. And the Indians goose eggs through 5. All Minnesota. Jason Castro, a 2-run double in the second. And then Eddie Rosario, a solo home run in the fourth. That's all the scoring today. The Indians have just as many hits as Minnesota, 7. But 6 of them are singles, and none of them are with a runner in scoring position. Eddie Rosario, 2 hits, 2 runs scored.
Yeah, to the extreme. His first hit was a bunt. His second was his 10th home run. And his first on the road this year.
Center field, line drive single for Rosario, who is 3 for 3.
Well, 10,000 fans will receive an Indians tote bag. That'll be courtesy of MLB. That'll take place Wednesday. The Indians are going to host the Rangers for a 4-game series. You grab a $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time or a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket available only at Indians.com.
Jorge Polanco 1 out of 2 on the day. Will lead it off, or will bat with 1 on here in the 6th. He is a guy that has tormented the Indians in his young career. This is his 21st career game against the Indians. .382 batting average, 6 doubles, 3 homers. He had a long home run in the series opener Friday night. Polanco bunts it foul. Second time he's tried that, and both times it's been a foul ball.
Well, if you're going to bunt up there and you're going to try and get a base hit, or even just move the runner along, and you're doing it early in the count, you try and make a perfect bunt, where if you do, it just rolls foul and you don't give up your at bat. So that tells me he was just trying to bunt for a base hit.
Pulls that one foul. Count stays 0-2. It's one of the weird habits I've never been able to wrap my head around, is the readjusting of the batting gloves. I mean, once you strap those things tight, they don't really come loose. They don't pop loose. But every guy, not every guy, a lot of guys step out after every pitch, boom, boom, readjust them.
Just a habit of, whether they have the same mannerisms every time they get in the box.
I'm blaming Grover. He almost went after it. The appeal, he did, says third base ump Larry Vanover, and then the quick throw to first, and they nearly caught Rosario. 1 away.
For the Twins, number 21.
Take a look at the side. Oh boy, they got away with one there. That wasn't even close.
By the way, they tell us Austin Jackson, it's left quad tightness is the reason he left the game. And Tommy tells me that the Indians do have a hit with a runner in scoring position. That infield single by Jackson that moved Lonnie Chisenhall over to third.
That's right. Dozier dove for it after he got on first and went to second on a wild pitch.
Hardly one to write home about, though. And kind of the way the weekend has gone, they finally get a hit with the runner in scoring position.
Right.
And it doesn't leave the infield.
Right. Isn't that the truth?
But Josh Tomlin has done a good job to keep Minnesota at bay, trying to keep his team in the game. And he's about to complete his third time through the lineup. Castro's the 8th batter. Buxton, the on-deck man, is the 9th. There is action in the Cleveland bullpen.
Danny Otero.
Tomlin approaches 90 pitches here on the day. There's a smash to right. It's over Lonnie's head. It'll one hop the wall. And coming around third, Rosario will be held. And now the ball gets by the cutoff man. Coming home, and he scores. Rosario makes it 4-0 on a poor defensive play by the Indians.
Well, it was a good read by Rosario. He kept his eye and picked up the baseball, and I don't know where it went. It comes off. They had to hold him as Castro smokes that ball in the right center, high off the wall. Let's see what happens here. Chisenhall coming in to throw. It's going to second base. Nobody's there. They're lined up for home plate. He's thinking second base. It's an automatic double there. You've got to think cutting that run off at home. So he's thinking trying to throw the guy out at second, and that's not the way to go. And once that ball gets past, that's going to be an error on Chisenhall for the run to score. But that's you give as an outfielder, you're giving the double because you know it's off the wall. So you can't go to second base because your cutoff and relay men are lined up to home plate to stop the run from scoring.
Well, even though they were going to stop the runner, they're going to give him an RBI. The official scorer's decision is double RBI. Regardless, 4-0 Minnesota. Byron Buxton, the batter. He has walked and flied out.
There's no error on that play. That's surprising to me because he stopped at third base before he started to go again.
Right.
He wasn't coming home.
Right.
That's got to be a double, no RBI, and an error on the throw in my book. Well, you see, here comes the relay in, and that's going to second. Nobody was there. And then here comes the ball, and he stopped and started to run again. Watch him stop, and he sees where the relay is. That's a good job on him picking up the baseball and knowing what was going on to just continue to score. Well, maybe not an error, but it was a mental error.
Gomes out.
You know, and boy, when you're not scoring runs like the Indians this weekend, you certainly cannot afford to make any mistakes. Mistakes were made yesterday in the first inning. Gave him a couple of runs. That's a mistake right there to give him one more run. And it's tough enough to try and get 3 with the way Santana's pitching the way he is.
Buxton down on strikes. 5th K for Tomlin. 2 down on the inning. And Brian Dozier will face Tomlin for the 4th time today. 0 for 3. Tomlin over 90 pitches this afternoon. And it's up high, ball 1. Otero's ready. And I would imagine this is the last hitter for Tomlin. Two 2-0, and out goes Gomes. Minnesota scored first in the 2nd inning. A line drive to lead off by Escobar, and then a bunt single by Rosario. After Polanco popped up on the infield, Jason Castro hit an opposite field 2-run double just out of the reach of Austin Jackson. Then Eddie Rosario with a solo home run in the 4th. And the double by Castro. And the errant throw allowing another run to score here in the 6th. And if he gets Dozier here, it will be a shame that he would be charged with an earned run because he was not going to score. Rosario was going to stop, but the walk to Dozier ends the day for Josh Tomlin. This will be the 6th time this year that Tomlin has pitched a game in which the Indians did not score a single run of support. And it will be the 9th time this year that he's seen 1 run or fewer in a game that he has pitched. So he walks off. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. Dan Otero is coming on when we come back.
Tickets and skip lines by gaining access to our mobile only gates. Plus you'll get unlock special offers from our partner KeyBank and more. Visit Indians.com for more info.
New pitcher is Dan Otero with 2 on and 2 out here in the inning. Otero's 27th appearance this year. And he's got Joe Mauer, who's already 2 for 3 with a double. Josh Tomlin's franchise record streak of 45 consecutive starts walking 2 or fewer batters comes to an end here today. Tomlin walked Sano in the first, Buxton in the second, and the last batter he faced, Brian Dozier, to end his day. Missed outside. The 1-1, and Otero heats him up and throws it by him. Softly served to right, and a diving catch by Lonnie Chisenhall to end the inning. That saves further damage, but the Indians still trail it now 4-0, middle of the 6th. Jim Thome right now, the Indians offensively have been shut down and shut out today as they were Friday. And yesterday they only managed 2 runs. So it has been a lost weekend offensively up to this point. Down 4 against Irvin Santana. And it's Carlos Santana to lead off the bottom of the 6th. And a base hit in the right field.
And for the first time today, the Indians get their leadoff man aboard. And wastes no time, jumps on a fastball, finds a hole between first and second. So let's see if maybe that'll work. They've had
guys on with 2 outs with 1 out. The first time they've had him out with no outs. And Chisenhall 2 for 2 today.
Interesting in that Santana has led off an inning all 3 times he's been up today. Lonnie Chisenhall, meanwhile, singled through the hole on the right side of the second, singled up the middle in the 4th. Now he breaks his bat, rolls it to Dozier. There's 1, and that's all they get. And up comes Daniel Robertson, who came on for Austin Jackson. Jackson left with the soreness in the quadricep muscle. Popped out of play. For Austin Jackson, it was the left quadricep muscle, and I guess you have to wonder what that may do for, if there's any kind of lingering issues there. Brandon Guyer and Abe Almonte. Robertson with a line drive base hit into right field, and Lonnie Chisenhall stops at second base. So the second hit of the inning for Cleveland. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, guys, first let me give you the bad news. You just brought up Brandon Guyer. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning down in Columbus, had to leave the game early. Hopefully we'll have more information on that a little bit later on after the game.
So that's the 3rd time now he's been hit?
3rd time.
Oh, my goodness.
Got hit below the knee today. They took him out. Remember I told you he went down there to play because there was a lefty. He went and played and got hit. Now in baseball, we have weird travels and people that know each other from different places. I was talking to Nick Goody a couple of days ago during the rain delay, and he's been able to play with Aaron Judge, who's leading Major League Baseball in homers with the Yankees, and Bradley Zimmer. He says they're both these tall athletes that you don't expect them to not have holes in their swing. Aaron Judge was at his actual wedding, and he said, you know, everybody told me he would have holes in his swing and he wouldn't be able to do what he did in the minors and the majors. Because I heard the same thing about Bradley Zimmer, and he goes, I'm going to tell you guys something. I wouldn't want to face either one of these guys in 2 or 3 years when they figure it out. He said it used to be with Judge, you could get him with a high fastball and a slider in the dirt. He goes, I had the same report on Zimmer, and he goes, I haven't seen him miss either one of those pitches yet.
Zimmer fouls one back, and it's 1-1. Now Bradley is single in the 2nd inning. He fouled out in a key spot in the 4th inning on a good pitch by the veteran Santana, who crowded him with a fastball, and he just couldn't get the bat head out quick enough to do any damage with it. And a countable ball in 2 strikes.
Slider there.
Santana over 100 pitches on the day, and the Twins have a left-hander up in their bullpen. Buddy Boucher's getting loose, but the key right now is this matchup between Zimmer and Santana.
Yeah, Castro wanted to go out there and just make sure that he and Santana are going to be on that same page.
Back out of play. Stays 1-2.
Couple of 20 pitch innings. The second he struggled, although he was able to get out of it.
Well, Irvin Santana has gone 6+ without allowing more than 1 run in 9 of his 15 starts this year. It's the most in baseball, but I mean, unless he gets a quick double play, I don't imagine he'll come back out for any action in the 7th. 2-2. Down in the dirt, full count.
Well, laid off the pitch. He tried to put him away with that slider, tried to get him to chase it. Now, the last time it was a 3-2 fastball in that he was able to get him to pop up with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. Now let's see what he does this at bat. This is a big at bat right here for the Indians. Keep it rolling, try and get on the board and get Santana out of here. Not that he's coming out after this at bat. All time. He's making him wait.
Two on, 1 out. And now the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. 7 strikeouts for Santana.
How about going with that fastball away? And he made a perfect pitch right here. He came right back, and when he has had to make pitches, he's not afraid to go 3-2. He dots the outside corner at the knees for a strike. He was inside and got him the last time. He goes down and away, and I think Zimmer was looking inside or maybe for the slider. But that's how good Santana has been. He made that pitch when he has to, gets the 2nd out.
Yan Gomes already has faced Santana in these type situations today. He has twice struck out and has stranded 4 in scoring position. Now he's up with 2 on and 2 out, 1st and 2nd here in the 6th inning. High fly ball, left field. Rosario makes the catch, and once again Irvin Santana weaves his magic and gets out of a jam. The Indians still scoreless through 6. Partners of the Cleveland Indians, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. By the stylish 2017 Kia Optima. And by Smart Path Forward. Lakeland Community College is your Smart Path Forward. Enroll now. 4-0 Minnesota. We move to inning number 7. And Dan Otero, who got the final out of the 6th. Miguel Sano 0 for 2, swing and a miss. Weak ground ball behind the bag. Kipnis throws him out, 1 down. Swinging to summer tomorrow. Indians Rangers open a 4-game series. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Indians Live. First pitch at 7. Swinging to summer on Sports Time Ohio and Fox Sports Go, presented by Click It or Ticket. Found out of play. That's a sharply hit ball up the middle. Lindor cuts it off and throws him out 2 away. Up comes Eduardo Escobar.
Third baseman, Eduardo Escobar.
And he gets ahead of Escobar with a strike. One for 3 today. Gives him 26 hits in his last 17 games played. And a routine bouncer to first. Dan Otero works a 1-2-3-7. Stretch time in Cleveland. 4-0 Minnesota.
Sometimes he takes that a bit literally.
4-0 Minnesota, bottom of the 7th inning. Ervin Santana's day is over after 6 shutout innings. How about scattering 9 hits? Well, that's what he did. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 7, 108 pitches. And on comes left-hander Buddy Bo Shears.
He's coming on for the 11th time. The left-hander will be facing the top of the Indians lineup.
Francisco Lindor is 0 for 3 on the day. Jason Kipnis to follow. Jose Ramirez due up third.
Yes, Ervin Santana looking for his 10th win to get into double digits. And I told you this year it was his 7th start against an AL Central opponent. He's looking to go 6-0 in the Central.
A ball and 2 strikes. The count on Lindor, who has had a tough month of June, batting just .211 before today in 20 games.
Yes, he did.
Strikes him out, 1 away. Don't forget to come on down to the ballpark and check out the district. $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio. Your first drink's on us. It's only online at Indians.com. Jason Kipnis 1 out of 3 on the day. Deep left. Back is Rosario. Makes the over-the-shoulder catch. And there are 2 down.
Well, Kipnis hit it well and drove it to left field. Rosario, if you watch him go back, you'll see him that ball slices right back into him. He turned that way. He knew it was coming. And just right over his shoulder. No big deal. He's looking up and watching that ball slice a little bit, but catches it for the 2nd out.
Jose Ramirez takes a breaking ball for a strike. Shoots it to right field. Kepler makes the grab. The Indians go quietly. And after 7, it's 4-0 Minnesota. and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. For 4-0 Minnesota. And after Dan Otero worked an inning and a third of perfect relief, Nick Goody will come on to pitch here in the 8th.
Goody appearing for the 27th time. He's had a nice year for Tito. 1-0, 1.26 ERA, and his 28 2/3, 29 strikeouts. Opposition hitting just 173.
First ball swinging. Rosario pops it up out of play.
This is Rosario's 3rd straight time he's been leading off an inning. He hit second back in the 2nd inning, but led off the 4th, the 6th, and now the 8th. And he's 3 for 3 today.
A little high. Chops it foul. Now Goody ready with a 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. Tops that foul.
Pretty good pitch right there. Down and in. He was able to take it. It was a good pitch. Watch Gomes' glove right there. Wow, tough one. I think he called it low, but it was a pretty good pitch.
Threw that one by him. 6th strikeout for Indians pitching here today. 1 down in the 8th inning. Looking back at the storylines brought to you by Mazda. Indians were unable to land the first blow. In fact, no blows landed here today. Unable to scratch out even a single run to this point. Even though they have 9 hits.
Yeah, I was going to say
same number as the Twins.
They had 9 hits, but just couldn't cash it in. And we told you in Santana's last start, he gave up 10 hits to the White Sox, but they hit a couple home runs against him, and that was a season high 10 hits. So they did a good job to get 9. They just didn't get any at the right time.
Foul back.
Minnesota, after this ball game, will be heading up to Boston for a 4-game series. And then on to Kansas City after that.
Nick Goody made quick work of Jorge Polanco. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 8th. The guy you didn't see it coming from today is the guy that's delivered for Minnesota. Jason Castro was 0 for his last 11 and batting .216 on the year. But in the second inning, a 2-run double, a ball that just eluded Austin Jackson and left. And then in the 6th, an RBI double over the head of Lonnie Chisenhall in right, though the RBI is questionable. Still, he has 2 doubles. Well, Nick Goody sharp here today. Strikes out the side in the 8th. Now we'll see if the bats have any life in them here as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Crowd down 4. Light. Jose Ramirez continues to hit. He has 2 on the day, including a stolen base, a double.
Yeah, he always, in this month, he has been hitting every day. He has been Mr. Automatic.
Edwin Encarnacion 0 for 3. Two quick strikes from Buddy Boshears. Way outside. chopped up the middle. Big hop. And Dozier will throw him out, one away. Well, one of the problems, as I see it, for the Indians offensively, maybe not a unique problem for Cleveland, because as we go around baseball, there aren't a lot of teams that have maybe a dynamic leadoff man. It's kind of a lost art. But if you take collectively what the Indians have done in the leadoff spot, so this isn't throwing the blame on any one person, but overall as a group, the batting average is .247. That's 22nd in Major League Baseball. The on-base percentage at .326 is 18th in all of baseball. And they've scored 41 runs. That's 25th in all of baseball. So the guys who are trying to set the table, nobody's been able to do it consistently, which is why we've seen sort of revolving door. You know, Kip's done it, Frankie's done it.
Santana started the year doing it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it has been. And, you know, it makes a difference. I mean, just that leadoff guy. But anytime, as we look at it, last inning was the or 2 innings ago, the first time they had their leadoff man aboard.
Yeah.
You know, and they start a lot of rallies after they have 2 outs. There have been at times, and that's where they've scored a lot of their runs on the season. 40% of them is with 2 outs. And it's hard to get rolling when you don't have a lot of runners out there.
Here's the weird thing, though. The Indians leadoff hitters, talking about the guy who bats first in the order, not by inning. They've hit more doubles than any other leadoff man in baseball by position. So there's been production, but that consistent level of production or table setting,
well,
just hasn't
they
been
have to collectively, as we know it, they have to play as a team. Walks are a very big part of this offense. They have 9 hits today. They don't have a walk, but there's a hit batter, Chisenhall. So he's been on 3 times today. There's a 2 out. Does this just get the jersey? Man, that, you see, when you look at that, it doesn't even look like it hit him. And they may be waiting to challenge that. Molitor's looking in there. That was a tough. You know, maybe Castro said something.
Tough one to get
overturned. They want to check
though,
it.
too.
Yeah, it is. It is. But they're going to check it. They want it overturned. They want to say, let's go. I'll tell you, just from watching it, Matt, it's hard to see if it gets any part of that jersey. Can't really tell. It didn't look like it.
A lot of times umpires may not see it, but they'll hear it and they react off the sound. If it just they hear a slight tick or whatever the noise is that they hear, a lot of times that's all it takes. And on that dark jersey, it may be hard to see. Does the jersey ripple? Does it move?
Yeah, that's what you really couldn't see. But, you know, a lot of times you'll see that, and we look at foul tips and things like that. It's hard to tell sometimes just from seeing it on the camera, and I don't care how you slow it down. Let's go. That's going to be, I thought they were taking them off.
Crew Chief Larry Vanover on your right. He'll get the official word. Chad Fairchild on your left made the call.
You know, just looking at it, it's going to be quick. Yeah, they say it got him.
So a runner at first with 2 down, and Daniel Robertson coming up. You can hear him audibly say first base got his shirt. So either Chad Fairchild heard it, or he's got incredible eyesight that he literally saw the ball tick his jersey. But here's Daniel Robertson. He singled his only time up when he came on for Austin Jackson, who left with a soreness or tightness rather in his left quad. Right field. Back goes Kepler, cruising onto the track, makes the catch. 8 complete. 4-0 Minnesota.
Tribe, the Indians have once again failed to score. 9 hits, no runs, 4-0 here. Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski, and Jensen, the tough part has been the Indians batting with runners in scoring position this entire series.
1 for 23. They left 30 on base. You're not going to win any games, especially against Central Division opponents like this. It's the way they've played. And on Indians Live postgame, we'll break that down further. But, you know, a lot of this is very simple. The concentration that they had over the road trip has not translated to this homestand so far.
Indians Live is brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Join us after the game for it. Let's go upstairs now. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, take it away, fellas.
Here in the 9th inning, Sean Armstrong coming on to pitch for Cleveland after Dan Otero and Nick Goody combined for 2 1/3 innings of perfect relief. 7 up, 7 down. Nick Goody struck out the side in the 8th. Swing and a miss by Armstrong. Buxton fouling it back. Center field, Zimmer makes the catch.
The hitter down for the second baseman, Brian Dozier.
Strike on the outside corner. Brian Dozier 0 for 3 today, but 4 hits in the first 2 games of the series. And in his previous 19 games played against Cleveland, collecting 6 home runs. Including a home run yesterday in the 8th inning. That helped Minnesota to, well, it gave them the lead, and it helped them take the second game of the series. To center field, Zimmer again will make the catch. Speaking of series, it's kind of weird that if you get rained out in a 2-game series and only play 1 game, somehow Major League Baseball still considers that a series. I think it's a game. I don't know how you can call it a series if you only play a game.
Right. I know it. I don't know how they do that.
But with that in mind, the Indians are 3 outs away from being swept for the 4th time this year. In Minnesota, looking for their 5th sweep of the year. Indians were swept in Arizona early. The 2 games in Colorado. and they lost a game here to Cincinnati 4-3, but the second game was rained out. So as far as the record keepers are concerned, we'll have 2 one-game series against Cincinnati at home this year. 2-0 pitch. Threw it by him. Texas leading New York 7-4 in the 6th. In the Bronx, Rangers looking to go a game over 500 before they arrive here in Cleveland for a 4-game series starting tomorrow night. Two. We'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday 7 o'clock games. And the series finale on Thursday will be a noon start. We'll have all 4 here on Sports Time Ohio. Payout pitch fouled away. Mauer 2 hits today, 5 hits in the series. He has a 5-game hit streak in which he's collected 8 hits in 17 at bats. Sean Armstrong trying to work a 1-2-3 inning. And another foul back. Mauer spoiling a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Kansas City and Toronto tied 2-2 in the 5th at Kauffman Stadium. White Sox shutting out Oakland 2-0 in the 6th in Chicago. Payoff pitch. Ground ball. Oh, what a stop by Santana. He'll take it himself. He just committed larceny, taking a hit away from Joe Mauer. And the Indians bullpen has combined to retire 10 in a row. Last chance for the Tribe offensively. Coming up next. Ervin Santana. They call him Magic, and I don't know if he was magic today, but he was certainly able to dodge his way through 9 hits in 6 shutout innings.
Yeah, his last time here, he threw 7 shutout innings, got the win. It was a 1-0 game. Coming out there today, made the pitches when he has had to. He went 6, shutout, scattered 9. But now the Indians looking to get on the board. It's going to be Bradley Zimmer that's going to lead it off. Kinsler, their closer, is coming on, even though it's not a save situation. He got the save in yesterday's game, number 20. And Paul Molitor says, we want to get this game, and with a Minnesota win and the Tribe loss, they will go back into first place by a half a game. So we'll see if the Indians can give them a finish and at least get on the board.
Bradley Zimmer 1 for 3 will lead it off. Zimmer with a bunt right back to the mound. Kinsler takes it himself. 1 away. Zimmer 1 for 4 on the afternoon, and it's going to bring up Yan Gomes. Kinsler notched his 20th save of the year yesterday. Working a 9th inning in which he gave up a 2-out double. Right-handed hitters just 2 for their last 14 against the Minnesota closer. Not a save situation for Kinsler, but he's been pretty good at the back end of the bullpen for Minnesota. Takes care of Gomes. So make that 2 for their last 15 for right-handed hitters against Kinsler. Francisco Lindor, the batter. Hopefully the Indians can get things somehow turned around here with Texas coming in tomorrow for 4 more. It's the good news, bad news story of baseball. The good news is, well, there's always another game tomorrow. The bad news is, well, there's a game tomorrow because they're about to be shut out for the 2nd time in 3 days. Right to third. Escobar throws him out. And the Indians are swept by the Minnesota Twins, who vault into first place in the American League Central Division, winning today by a final score of 4-0. Minnesota is now 39-34, and the Indians are now 39-35. And it's the first sweep in Cleveland for the Twins since 1991 when they were last world champions. So disappointing, frustrating, all of the above. The Indians came into the series seemingly with a head full of steam. They had won 8 out of 9, won 7 out of 8 on the road trip, and they just laid an egg this week.
They had teams going in different directions. You're right. They were 7-1 on the road trip. Minnesota had a tough homestand. They had that long delay. They had players that were sick. They come in here and do exactly to the Indians what the Indians did to them last weekend, and they vault back into first place. So again, they continue to play very well on the road. So with the Minnesota, they're 23-9 on the road, and the Indians, boy, their woes continue at home, and their offense shut out 2 out of the 3 days. That's a tough way to go, and you got a good hitting team coming in tomorrow, so they've got to get it turned around and score some runs.
Neither one of these teams can figure out how to get it going at home this year. And the other troubling stat for the Indians, we'll think about this as we send you off to break. They've now lost 13 out of 14 at home when they trail after just 2 innings. Stay tuned for Indians Live with Alan Jensen. It's coming up next. We'll be with you tomorrow for game 1 of a 4-game series between the Indians and the Texas Rangers.